Hello everyone, my name is Anamika and today I'm here to tell you how you can install Appwrite on your Linux distribution. This is the basic Appwrite homepage. And one more thing, before starting the official installation process, I would first like to give an introduction to what is Appwrite. So, Basically, Appwrite is a self hosted solution that provides developers with a set of easy to use and integrate REST APIs to manage their core backend needs. Basically, you can say that it is a new, open source, end to end backend server for front end and mobile developers that allows to build apps much faster. Its main goal is to abstract and simplify common development tasks behind REST APIs and tools, helping developers build advanced apps faster. If you go to the official AppWrite page, you can see that the first line written over here is secure open source backend server for web, mobile, and Flutter developers. So AppWrite is very useful and very popular among developers these days. Now, uh, let us start to learn that how can we set up AppWrite on Ubuntu. So basically here I'm talking about Ubuntu because Ubuntu is the basics Linux distribution. Like it is the most simple Linux kernel which can be used by beginners also. So that's why and I am using Ubuntu only. So that's why we'll start to set up Appwrite on Ubuntu. Setting up Appwrite on any operating system or kernel, be it Linux or Windows, is very easy. Here we are going to go through an easy and simple method to set up Appwrite on a Linux kernel, which is Ubuntu. So let us get started. So if you go to the official page also, here you can also see the Get Started button. If you click on the Get Started button, it will just tell you to install Appwrite. And for the Unix, the commands are given which you can very well copy to the clipboard and just paste on your terminal and you are good to go. If you're using command line, then this is the command which you need to run. And if you're using PowerShell, then this is the command. So we already saw that it is so simple to install Appwrite on our operating system. Okay, so if we go to the documentation part, here also, if we go to the installation part, so we can see, let me just zoom in a little bit. Yeah, now it might be visible better. So it is saying that we need some system requirements. So Appwrite was designed to run well on both small and large deployment. The minimum requirements to run Appwrite is as little as one CPU core and 2 GB of RAM and an operating system that supports Docker. So basically if you're using a laptop then one CPU core and 2 GB of RAM is always fulfilled. An operating system that supports Docker. So what they mean is that you need to have Docker installed on your operating system, and the Docker is basically supported on Linux, macOS, and uh, Windows also. So, if you want to learn about Docker, so you can just go to how to install Docker. So, I'll show you here. If you just type install Docker, yeah, see it's coming. Get Docker. You can also go to the documentation parts, and here all the steps are given on how to install Docker on Mac, Windows, or Linux. So I have also followed these steps only, and I was able to successfully install Docker on my operating system, which is Ubuntu 20.04. Now, how do I check whether I have Docker installed or not? It is very simple. I just type Docker and see We can also type docker v to check the version. So my docker version is 20.10.8 and the build version is this. So I have the requirements. The requirements were very simple, that to have one CPU core, which we already have on our laptop, 2 GB of RAM, and an operating system that supports Docker. So now, the most easy method, like there are lots of method by which we can install Appwrite on our operating system. You can see on the official documentation page, there's install with Docker. Then there is a manual installation also. But I personally believe that the most easiest method to start running your Appwrite server is by running our Docker installer tool from our terminal. So it's stated here also that before running the installation command, make sure you have the Docker CLI installed on your local machine, which we have. Okay. Now, the next step is very simple. What we need to do is we just need these commands over here. Okay, you can see here also, I have mentioned. So this is a blog written by me, in which I have mentioned all the steps on how can you set up Appwrite on Ubuntu. So I'll provide the link to this blog in the description of the video. You can check this out. Also, it is present on the Appwrite repository. So you can check it out from there. I will provide you the link to the Appwrite repository in the description as well. Okay. Yes. And one more thing which I forgot is that this is only this these are the steps which are required when we are installing Appwrite for the first time on our machine. So there might be some cases where you're already having a version of Appwrite installed on your local machine and you just want to migrate from an older version to a newer version. So in for that case, you need to follow the migration instructions. The steps are provided here. You can see, go to the official documentation page and you can see it's very clearly written that if you're migrating from an older version of Appwrite, you need to follow the migration instructions. So if we go to the migration instructions, all the instructions are provided here. So you can follow these instructions if you want to upgrade. But in our case, we do not have Appwrite installed, so we are installing a fresh version. So what we are gonna do is to install with Docker. These are the commands. So click here to copy. I have just copied this command to the clipboard. And now what I'm going to do is to just paste these commands on my terminal. You see, you can change the version of Appwrite if you want to. I'm using the latest version which is provided on the documentation page. So you can change the version accordingly and I just press enter. So you can see that it is building like a Docker image. So it's pulling all the layers because it was not installed previously on my machine. So it is pulling all the layers and it is building the image. It is extracting, it is downloading, it's doing everything which is required just by a click of a single command. So, and it's pretty fast also. Yeah, basically fastness depends on my net speed, but yeah, it is very faster as compared to other methods of installing software or installing anything on your computer. So yes, this is an advantage of using Docker. So it is showing that downloaded new year image for Appwrite, which is 0.1110, and yes, it is done. Starting Appwrite installation, choose your server HTTP port. This can be used for further steps, but for now, our installation is done. It is that easy. Can you imagine? It is so easy to set up Appwrite on not only just Ubuntu, I have shown on Ubuntu, but for all the system. It is so easy. It was just it was so easy, we already saw. So, yeah, it's all done. Now we are ready to move to our next steps. And do you also wonder what are the next steps? The next steps are very, very easy. You can just go to the documentation page, and here you can find all the next steps like Appwrite for web, Appwrite for Flutter, Appwrite for Apple beta version, Appwrite for Android beta version, Appwrite for server, Appwrite CLIs, SDK, and everything. We are all set to send requests and build our application the easy way. Yeah, so it is done. Now we are all done with the process. You're all set to make your first API call. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me in this session, for watching this. I hope that I was able to help you all. Thank you so much. Happy learning to everybody. Bye.